What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Matthew West Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew West. As always, I really hope you like it. Coming to you with a special Dadvice episode of the Matthew West Podcast here at the Story House in Nashville, Tennessee. Why is it called Dadvice? Because he's my dad. He gives good advice, and that's why it's called Dadvice. I even wrote him a special theme song. It follows him wherever he goes. Check it out.
He is my dad, and he gives good advice. And that's why this segment is called Dadvice.
Dad, thanks for joining me at the Story House once again. You know, you're becoming a legend for your terrible dad jokes. Yeah. The worse they are, the better they are, it seems.
Yes.
Can you make us laugh today? That's the challenge. You got one?
Yes, and I got a bad one. What's red and smells like blue paint? Red paint.
That's actually pretty clever. I like that one. What's red and smells like blue paint? Red paint?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We're on Unashamed, and I got to mention that we were in Universal Studios last week.
Yeah, Rock the Universe.
Yeah, and it was incredible, and there were thousands of people, and I was out way in the back.
It's cool.
And there were youth groups, young people, just lifting their hands up. And during Unashamed, there is just a powerful worship moment that moves and stirs people's hearts. And here's some more of the lyrics. I'm unashamed, and I will live my faith out loud. Take my stand and stand my ground for the one who took my shame. I'm unashamed. And we're going to just zero in real quick. Live out loud, walk the talk. Throughout the whole time we've been talking on Unashamed, we've been talking about being unashamed of our faith. We've talked about speaking and proclaiming the message of the gospel. While that may prove to be easy for some, it can be a real challenge for others. But there's another way we can live our faith out loud, and that is by the way we live. William Tom said, "Be careful how you live. You may be the only Bible some people will ever read." Now, how do we do that? God has given us gifts to enable us to live out our faith for others to see. And here's how we do it. 1, walk in the fruit of the Spirit. Inside God's Word, we find the fruit of the Spirit. Each quality represents a positive attribute that Christians strive to cultivate in their lives. In doing this, we show Jesus to the world. There's an old hymn that I've never forgotten, and we would sing as a little kid in church. To be like Jesus, all I ask, to be like him. All through life's journey from earth to glory, all I ask, to be like him. So walk in the fruit of the Spirit. Be like Jesus. 2, here are the 9 ways, or the Bible calls them fruit, that we are called to show Jesus to the world. In Galatians 5:22 and 23, I would encourage you to do a personal study, and I know you might hear a lot of sermons on it, and we need to continue to hear it, of how we display Christ, not just what we speak, but how we show it in our actions. And the fruit of the Spirit, it says, is love. John 13, a new command I give you, love one another. It's joy. Nehemiah 8:10, the joy of the Lord is my strength. Peace. Matthew 5:9, blessed are the peacemakers. Kindness. Ephesians 4:32, be kind to one another. Tenderhearted, forgiving one another. Goodness, Psalm 23:6, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Faithfulness, Hebrews 10:23, hold fast to your hope without wavering, for God is faithful. Gentleness, Titus 3, instructs people to be gentle, avoid quarreling, and show courtesy to all people. Self-control, 2 Timothy 1:7, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-discipline. Against such things there is no law. Nobody can argue that life and showing Jesus in that way. So I want to leave with this. Remember, the lost are drawn to love. They notice joy and peace in us. They long for peace. When you show patience and you are kind, gentle, and good to them, they become interested in the message they are reading. Unfaithfulness and lack of self-control is the way of our world. But when your friends and family see the opposite in you, they become hungry for God. My dad advice today is to walk the talk. For some of us, it's easy to talk a good talk, but not walk the walk. Don't let your words reveal a different message. Let your actions confirm your words. James 1:22, be doers of the word and not hearers only.
That's good, man. I don't know that I would have initially associated the fruits of the Spirit, because there's so many words like gentleness. When you think about being unashamed in your faith, you might be tempted to immediately jump to the boldness, right? But literally living out and exemplifying the fruits of the Spirit, what better way is there to show the world what Jesus looks like than to look like Jesus? Right? So that's a great word, Dad. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys enjoyed this special episode of the Matthew West podcast called Dadvice. If you'd like to go deeper in your faith, if you've got a testimony you want to share, if you've got a prayer request and you'd love to know that other people are lifting you up, our ministry is all about that at popwe.org, popwe.org. Go plug in there. Join our community. We'd love to have you join us. We have a group of monthly Popwe partners who help financially keep our ministry growing strong. We would love to have you join us in that. We're so thankful for all of you. Thanks for joining me on the podcast, Dad, and thanks for all of you who are listening and watching. You guys are the best. It's your story for His glory. See you next time.